Well, hey, church, I hope everybody's doing well on this Monday and you're set up for a great week. And I hope you enjoyed worship yesterday with our guest speaker, Pastor Fred Hope from Charleston. I thought he had a wonderful message and I hope it encouraged you. If you missed Sunday, though, or if you've missed any of the Sundays and you'd like to make them up, you can do so by going to our video archives, and all the worship services are there from this pandemic time. So check that out. Well, for approximately 6 months, we have been a scattered church. We've been unable to meet together and to be face to face for worship. But the time has come for us to once again become a gathered church and a gathered church community. And so, starting this Sunday, the 4th of October at 11 a.m. in the sanctuary at LPCC, we're going to begin our first Sunday of face-to-face gathered worship. I'm really excited about it, and I hope you are too, and will be able to join us for that special time together. It's really a time of rebuilding as we rebuild relationships, as we rebuild traditions, as we rebuild ministry and mission. Maybe in our personal lives, it's our businesses or families or finances, whatever it might be. It really is a time of rebuilding in our church and community. So it brings to mind for me Nehemiah from the Old Testament, and how he had such a heart and urgency to go back to Jerusalem and to begin to rebuild the wall so that it was a place that people could come and live and worship and be the people of God. And so I think in that same way, my prayer is that is that God will inspire us and encourage us and energize us to be about the work of rebuilding as we are what seems to be kind of a tailing end of this pandemic. It feels like we've maybe come through the worst, and so now is a time to begin to rebuild some traction for the church and for our own lives. With that in mind, this Sunday, just a few notes. This Sunday will be kind of like a regular service that we were used to. The order of service will reflect that same pattern we had back before the pandemic, although it might be a little bit simplified and a little bit shorter than what we are used to. But we'll gather in the church. We're going to have to practice some social distancing protocols, mask wearing protocols to keep ourselves safe and to meet the requirements of the municipality at this time. We do have a capacity requirement, but I think we'll be okay with that. And thankfully, we've got a good bit of room in our sanctuary to spread out and to keep some distance from one another. With that in mind, when you come into the sanctuary, there'll be some pews or some of the benches with the pad down in its kind of its normal position. And so sit in those pews. And the pews where the pad is turned upward, don't sit in those. That'll help us to stay a distance from each other. As we gather on this Sunday, we will celebrate communion, and I believe we've got a plan together to have a safe method to distribute the communion. You'll come up to the front and receive the elements in a contactless way, so I think that will work. We're going to use disposable cups, so you can just toss them out after the service on your way out the door, so that'll kind of keep things sanitary. A couple of things we will not do is we will not pass the offering plates this Sunday, but there will be offering baskets in the room, and either during the service or after the service, you can drop your offering in those baskets. We also will not do a couple of other things. We'll not have our kids ministry or Sunday school. We'll not have our nursery, and we'll not have our coffee fellowship time. But hopefully, as we kind of get our feet under us for resuming in-person worship, we'll be able to add those back in before too long. But we'll kind of figure that out as we go. Now, if you are in a situation where maybe you're in a higher risk group for your health, or maybe you're just not comfortable coming out at this time, I just want to give you permission to stay home. That's okay. There's no pressure on you to come out at this time if it would be better for you to stay at home. Keep your slippers on, get a cup of coffee, sit on the couch, and just join us on the live stream on Sunday morning. We would love for you to do that. Also, if you have been in contact with someone who has COVID, or if you're just feeling bad in any way, with your health, just stay home and get better and then come back and join us. I think that's an important precaution for us to take at this time. Okay, what other notes did I have for Sunday? I think that's most of it. You know, we want to have a wonderful, fresh and new start together on October 4th. and we just need to be responsible with the way we conduct ourselves. I just ask you to maintain the different protocols that we have so that we can have a safe and a good start together, and that we can continue doing this in the coming weeks without incident. Now, let me just say this. This week, I am traveling back from the United States to La Paz, so please keep me in your prayers as I travel, and I just pray that God will kind of energize me as I get back to La Paz with just a few days before worship. And then I ask you to pray for my family. They're going to stay up here in Charleston for a bit longer. And so as we are separated from each other, we just pray God's grace and God's hand to be upon them here in the United States. And then finally, I just pray and ask you to join me in praying that God would give us a really special and wonderful first Sunday back together as the gathered church. Okay. Love you guys. Great to connect with you today. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you Sunday.